Yeah, and as far as crime and drugs go, like I said, the only crime that I ever experienced was this vandalism, and I could take you to three crack houses operating 24 hours a day within walking distance of the church where they had the community meeting. I can even tell you which one has the best prices and which one has the best shit. So look, man, the poor, the homeless, the drugs, they're already here in the community. Okay, we're not adding some new malicious element. We're talking about family housing here, specifically for families where there are children being raised by their grandparents. And again, we're only talking about 20 families and an absolute maximum of 60 people. I mean, come the fuck on. This is a classic, not in my backyard situation. Everybody says, yes, well, we need these things. We just don't want them here. But where the fuck would you build it? Where do you want to build it? You can't build it. You're not going to build it in White Plains. You're not going to build it in the middle of some super affluent neighborhood like Scarsdale, okay? And at the same time, the idea is to provide decent housing for these families, You're trying to provide an apartment in an area that's fit to raise a child. And where these people would want to build it, I mean, they would suggest that this get done down in some shithole down in the South Bronx. And I'll tell you, man, I mean, these are just not, it's just not a suitable, safe environment to raise a kid, some of these neighborhoods. We're talking about some of the worst ghettos in the country, So where you're going to want to build it, I mean, you got to build it in a lower middle class neighborhood like this. I mean, it's really kind of the perfect place for it, okay? And this is a good idea. I think that the people involved came up with what seems to be a reasonable, kind of creative, out-of-the-box solution to this funding problem. And, of course, nobody wants it because it means that they might have to have a couple of poor people living in their community, I mean, and people hear this idea that there's a way they could do something good for the community, something that I think would really help. And, the reaction people have is just this immediate aversion to it. I mean, it's just... you say that we can help some people, so that we can do something good for the children in our community, and people's immediate reaction is, oh my God, could this possibly inconvenience me in some insignificant way? Because I can't have that, and God forbid it should cost me anything, because why should I have to do anything that's going to benefit something else? What's in it for me? That's the other thing that people wanted to know. Well, what kind of tax break can I get out of this? Well, what can you do to prove that my property value is going to increase if you build this project? And that's just, and that's just, it's the feeling is that, why should I have to help these people? It's why should I have to? Why should I be forced to? As if there's no desire to help them whatsoever. There's absolutely no want to do it. I mean, come on, people. Is that it? I mean, is it really true that all you care about is benefiting yourselves? Is that it? You have no desire whatsoever to make things in your community better for some people that maybe haven't been as fortunate as you? I mean, it's really true that you just want to get richer, fatter, and more comfortable, isolating yourself as much as possible from everything that's wrong with the world? Fuck you, man. I mean that. You don't deserve to live in a community, all right? And every time I meet somebody like you, I just want to choke your fucking life out because it makes me sick that I have to breathe the same air that you do. And honestly, I would rather share my community with the dirtiest, ugliest, poorest vagrant in the city, because I'm sure that if I asked him to, I could get a sip off of his wine, while he would probably let me die in the street where I stood, and I would rather share that wine with him than with you, because I think that he's probably a superior human being to you, and that you're pretty much just a waste of space. I mean, don't you fucking realize, don't people fucking realize that with everything we've got today, with what we've learned, with all that we have, with the technology we've got, with all the resources at our disposal, we could accomplish great things, okay? The world does not have to be as fucked up as it is if we could just get over this self-serving bullshit, all right? I'm not saying that you have to give up a comfortable lifestyle and become a communist and live in a fucking shack and spend all your money on, you know, healthcare and education for the poor, man. Just fucking help each other out a little bit. That's all you have to do. That's all it would fucking take, and nobody wants to do it. I mean, God, people, if you'd be willing to just back each other up a little bit, then we can get through this shit, and we can make the world a better place. And that's all I want. That's all I want. And it just doesn't seem to be like that's the direction that we're going in, you know? We're just going further into this